Welcome to self-discoverywisdom.com, formerly known as Self-Discovery Media. On these podcasts, you're going to hear people who speak from the heart. They've taken the journey in life. Many things have happened to them, but they've changed it to happening for them. And in their strength, their courage, they've discovered their abilities and their wisdom, and they are now sharing it here with you. Do enjoy each show. We bring it to you with love and knowing that it's going to help you on your journey of life. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Sarah's View of Life, right here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. I'm your host, Sarah Troy. So at the present moment, I have a number of balls up in the air. I have my own book, Reflections on My Life, to finish. It's in the very last stages of editing, chapter alignment and making sure the last bits are done. Anything that needs to be added, we're almost there. And I hope to finish that with my brother when I'm in England. I also have the Forgotten Children series. I have 12 authors, wonderful people, each contributing a chapter. And the fundraising for that is about to start any minute. The reason why there's so many balls up in the air is my book should have been finished already, but just everything takes time. And when you are juggling, podcasts and family and grandkids and getting other authors ready for another book and a number of other things, including my own particular health energy, it's like a ball gets stuck up there and it's like, I can't receive you right now. My hands are full. And so I think one of the things that we have to learn in life is that don't take on so much at once, which was not meant to be like that. It was meant to pace itself out, but it didn't, and it's all clammed together. The other is that it will be when it's meant to be. So, as I said, I put off finishing my book until I get to England. My brother is a literary professor, so he will help me with those last chapters. He's going to be the editor of the chapters in the Forgotten Children series. And then when I come back, all that will be done. And that will go over to the publisher to do her next bit. So I really am hoping we get out before Christmas. If we don't actually get out before Christmas, I hope we have the pre-sale before Christmas. What has been wonderful is that I actually reached out to a number of people I've interviewed through the years, and some have retired. They've moved on. They're somewhere else in life right now. So I opened it out to other people. And I have ended up with some awesome people on so many different types of topics around children. And it's important to have that, diversity there, that they're all speaking from their experience around children, whether they're a teacher, a nurse, whether they're work with children at risk or foster children or were a foster child. It's all their experience of what's wrong and what needs to be put right. So we did a book, an ebook, way back in 2017. So this is the next one. This one is a little more challenging. And obviously we're going to be reaching further. It's going to be an audio, an and a book. And the money raised from it goes back into the organizations that they support that are supporting children. So it's a little bit more extended and elongated. So that's okay. I've also joined up with not one, but two TV networks. And I'll be going live with that in December. So it's actually kind of quite extraordinary how things that you want and you want to manifest in life. The thing is about manifestation, it doesn't come on your timetable. It comes on its timetable. And it suddenly received the message, the order. And now all the Amazon delivery is coming at once. So it's the universal delivery delivering everything that I've wanted to do and want to do and need to do and how to expand out. And it's all happening at once. And then my daughter has just announced that she's moving north of our province, wants me to go with her, which is taking her far, far away from where I am now. That's smaller community. And there's three things that are important to me: trees, breeze, and water. And I could get that there and I could see my grandchildren grow. So it's interesting how everything piles in at once. And sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming. And what we have to do is take that deep breath and then step back and look at each one at a time. What is important in the now? See, this is what happens when so much happens at once. We bottleneck it. And when we bottleneck it, it becomes something that's hard to unravel. It's all piled on top of each other. It's like when you get all those wire cords together and you wanted to pull one out and they've spaghettified. They've all come and entwined with each other. And you're sure that they're actually dancing together and, even having an orgy, I don't know, but trying to separate them is so goddamn hard. So this is why it's important to make sure that you do put things in the slot that they're meant to go in. So it's easier to pull out, deal with what you need to deal with it, put it back, deal with the next thing. And that's something, that I'm not very orderly. That is always something I've challenged with. It's my lowest personality trait, but it is something that does make sense. And of course, it makes life a lot easier. So one has to make sure we do it, even if it's something that we aren't good at. So this is where I'm at right now. My future is going to radically change where I live, and that's not going to be another year or so. Um, I'm about to go onto two different TV networks, which are both streaming, and they're both streaming on the same platforms, but one would be audio and one would be video. And I'm also, got this one book, my book coming out, the next book, the Forgotten Children book. And then as soon as that's done, they will go into the production of the next book, which will be the self-discovery coaches, business coaches, and that anthology. So I've carved out a future for me that's going to keep me extremely busy. And yes, I'm going to have to manage, make sure that my slots don't get entangled to become that mesh of wires. Um, and it's okay to take a deep breath. Oh, yes. And in the midst of all of this, I'm going to England for a month. Well, I am going to be doing the editing of the chapters over there. Yes, that is one thing I can do. The networks that I'm joining, the TV networks, will only be for November, December, so I can do that when I get back. And I can enjoy my time with my family, whom I haven't seen in years, all getting older, and take that time out to regroup for myself. This is my deep breath time. Just sometimes stepping out of something, especially when you've got such a big thing to do, and looking at it from a different point of view. I could do that more efficiently. I could do this way. I could do that way, which you can't think of when you're in the midst of it. So although part of me feels a little guilty in going at a time when I should be really immersed in something, the other part of me knows that being away and looking at it from a different angle will make me more efficient. So what are you up to right now? Where are your balls in the air? Have you got them all nice and neat in a basket and filed away? Are you able to take one at a time? Are you only dealing with one at a time? And the interesting thing is, like Richard Branson, never takes on more than three things at a time. So what are the three things I'm taking on? I'm taking on my own memoir. I'm taking on Forgotten Children book. And then I am taking on joining these networks. So they are three major things, and they're all intertwined with each other. But each thing that I'm doing is detailed and complex in its own right. So I understand, don't take on more than you could cope with. So they all dance together, but they have to be individual. So it's like, again, my analogy with the orchestra. These are three instruments that are going to join the orchestra. And I've got to make sure that they can play solo, that they can hold a chord on their own. And then they can join the orchestra and in harmony create that symphony that's going to resonate out. So it's okay sometimes to step back and look. It's okay if the time frame doesn't happen exactly when you want, but don't get caught up with so much at once. This is my life, folks. I can prepare to do one thing and then the next thing after that, and it doesn't happen that way for me. Everything always seems to get into a traffic jam. It's just, I live in chaos and I always try and make order out of the chaos. And so this is the order that I'm making out of the chaos here. And by stepping away and looking at it from a different angle, I'll probably be more productive. And that's okay. So I have 2 more weeks of shows for you, and then you're not going to have any new shows for 3 weeks. I'm sorry about that, folks. Actually, 4 weeks, but you've got 3,400 shows here on this network. Plenty to be going into. So I invite you to go into the archives. Remember, selfdiscoverywisdom.com. When you look at the podcast genre and you go into that, you see all these banners. They're all different pictures and they've got names on them. They are show channels. Click on the one that you're interested in, and 3 shows come up at a time. So kind of keep cruising till a show speaks to you. Ah, that's interesting. I'd like to listen to that. That is if you're on my network. Of course, if you're on any of my audios, they just do it linearly, whatever show has come out that week. If you go to my SoundCloud, Self-Discovery Wisdom, then you will see playlist. You will see the playlist where it shows the month and the year, but then you go further down and you will see the playlist played by the genre. And then you can see the titles of the shows more and click on 21 that you want to listen to. So I try and deliver in any which way that's going to make it easy for you to listen to. But remember, these shows, except for mine, are an hour plus, because we really get into the nitty-gritty. We really unravel. We really go on that journey. And sometimes it's just a light, fun, wonderful conversational journey. And sometimes it's really revealing something that could be deep, could be dark, could be illuminating. But only you know what you're going to get from it. And only you're going to know what you're going to get from it if you listen to it. So my motto is listen, learn, and apply. There's always something that you learn from these podcasts that you can apply to your own life. So I'm going to get back to now the fundraiser of the book. And if you see the Orchard of Wisdom on the Forgotten Children series podcast fundraiser out there, please support us. We are not charging our authors to do this. We're raising money to cover the costs of actually producing the book. And then the money from selling the book then goes into being divided amongst the authors and their organizations that they're already attached to that are doing the work. So this is to bring awareness to the needs of our children and what needs to change. It's to bring support and funding to the organizations that are already doing that. So we need to raise money to get this book out. So if you do see that out there, please, folks, please do support us. Anything helps. It all adds up. And as you know today, everything is expensive to do. So we want to get this book out there soon and get it out there working for you. So until next week, folks, I hope you have a great week. Bye for now. We hope that you enjoyed the show. There are so many more for you here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. Just go to the podcast tag at the top there and you will see all the many genres and all 3,000 shows ready for your listening. We are here to serve you, to help you on your journey of life, and we know that through inspiration, it begets invitation. We are supported by you, the listeners, and those that we interview. Anything that you can spare us in donation would be greatly accepted, and we do hope that you enjoy the next show.